Maybe not quite as prestigious as Real Madrid.
Maybe a little.
But you can go in and play, and then you can actually, depending on how you do, you can actually get some additional funds for your transfer budget. And then the other great thing that we've been asked for as well is training. So
that's
you
super
can now
exciting.
go in and train your players. You get five spots in a week to train slots. You can go away and train up different players. You can try and make your first team better, or it's a great way to use train up youth players as well.
And this is the first time a lot of people will be seeing this game running for the first time. This is the world premiere
that we've actually shown gameplay camera of the game running. We've really changed a lot of gameplay this year. As we talked about in the press conference, innovating across the entire pitch. We've really looked at all of our core systems. How do we improve defending? You're going to see that it's easier to keep with the attackers. Even Messi's and Ronaldo's are quite difficult to sort of stick with. We've done a lot of work around the agility of players. We've also done work around how the AI covers for you in defending as well. So, we'll try and point a few things out here. Maybe we'll see the passing with purpose in a second, which is just right bumper.
That's a lovely ball.
That's a great ball. You can see there that the two centre-backs are covering four people.
Yeah.
Well, they could get quite split last year, so they're covering for each other a little bit better.
You see that defensive intelligence.
Yeah, that's the new passing there. Especially when you've got players around you. What you're going to notice is that defensively, you see right there, players are much more aggressive at trying to win back the ball and intercept the ball, where the passing with purpose really comes sort of into play.
See Biscuits there closing down.
Yeah.
Or Biscuits. I've always mispronounced his name. I call him Biscuits because it's the shorthand.
So actually, that right there is it's from quite deep, but that was new crossing logic. So we've completely reworked all our crossing targeting.
Yeah.
So balls are now getting more in behind. You're trying to get the attackers to run onto the ball. It's more authentic. We might see it here in a second. But it's also a bit more timing related.
Oh, that's a great header. Was that
Who
Messi?
was that? Was that you?
Well done.
And now it's a brand new thing here. So run towards the camera, you get new camera celebrations.
That's incredible.
There's two cameramen on each side. Run towards them, you get new celebrations. After you've done it,
that was Jordi Alba scored.
There you go. I challenge you not to do it once you've done it once.
Yeah, that camera. I think people love the celebrations as well.
Right?
Yeah, it is. It's that that gives you that sense of you're in a real match and you've got control over all the elements.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things I'm really excited about is the new, like you say, the touch you don't take with the dribbling.
Yes. So that's left bumper. I mean, maybe we'll see that. We can get the guys to do that in a second. But you hold down left bumper and you can now decide not to touch the ball. You can, use body position, swerve, do feints, which is really nice.
And that's such a simple thing that's going to have a huge impact on the way people play.
Absolutely. I think it also kind of makes skill moves, if you like, a little bit more accessible because it's kind of a skill move in itself.
Safe. Oh, did it go out there? Linesman.
You can see the lines on the pitch. Sorry, I didn't point that out. You got the spray.
Oh, so you've got the referee spray now. Oh my God! Little touches like that, really,
So there you go. There was an interception there.
Yep.
Probably last year, there's a likelihood that the defender wouldn't have tried to get that ball. So it really makes you think about, what you're doing in midfield. Brings the midfield back into play, which is something, the community really wanted back. It was quite easy to bypass the midfield last year. That was a bit of a stronger pass right there. Maybe we can get a cross in as well. Took a deflection.
Oh, off the bar. That's a great cross. And the physics in the game and the mechanics have always been solid with FIFA. And these new, the new passing mode, the new defending mode, the new dribbling mode, they're just going to add to the sense.
Absolutely. There you go, another whipped-in cross there.
And it's much more dynamic now with the crossing system and the passing system, as you say. There'd be a lot of times where people do like the straight through midfield. It's almost 100% guarantee of a pass. That's not going to exist
Well, exactly,
anymore.
and I think we are finding a lot. A lot of players were playing with Real Madrid.
Yep.
Especially online. So by tightening up the midfield, helping you in defending. We don't want to take away that. Dribbling felt really good, and we don't want to take that. We haven't taken that away, and we've added to it with no touch. But we wanted to tighten things up a little bit. It means that there won't be one over-pervasive tactic. Speed was sort of quite overpowered last year, and we wanted to balance the game. We talked a lot about balance this year, which means I think you'll get more variety in the teams that players are using.
I mean, this can't be. This is obviously a game because Cuadrado is playing on the right wing for Chelsea, so that can't be right. And obviously all the new kits and stuff. We see the new Barcelona kit with the hoops this year. And, that's terrible defending. Who was that?
Terrible finish.
Suarez couldn't finish. Set up for him beautifully. Could Chelsea break here and make the difference, make it pay?
There we go.
Oh, there's the man over. It's a good run. He's off. He's off. Just couldn't quite hold it, Fabregas.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, we're seeing, gameplay footage for the first time, and almost this part of the game is something I was really excited for last year. Is the replays, the match summaries. It feels so kind of part of football.
Yeah, so we've added stuff as well to that. We've got, especially in which will obviously come out in career mode. We've kind of got the story of the game, more kind of tracking of what's going on. We even sort of talk about transfers as well this year. So. Lots of little touches like that. You'll see, we saw the running to the camera earlier.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
You can actually celebrate with subs now as well.
Oh, wow.
In certain situations. So, little touches like that.
Well, I was saying earlier about the career mode. I do play career mode quite a lot. And, one of my favourite modes apart from career mode is the training mode. I love doing the advanced shooting drills, the advanced tackling drills, and the passing drills. And to have that implemented into career mode and feel like you're actually training your player is going to give you so much more ownership of your team. Exactly,
and I think that it gives you so many more options as well, because you can go and train like Costa in how to shoot, but ultimately he's pretty good already. So the benefit won't be as big. You might be able to get him up maybe 1 point or something like that. But if you go with a younger player with higher potential, you can really start to grow those players a bit more quickly. So it gives you more control over that. It gives you then more options where you can then, maybe take some youth players, train them up. Maybe you can sell them on. If you're, a smaller club, it's another way to get funds in. But maybe you can bring them into the first team a bit more quickly. So, previously it would take quite a while for those players to grow well enough to get into your first team, but now it gives you a little bit more options, a bit more flexibility to do that.
And it's not just a case of sending that on loan or bringing them on for the final 10 minutes to get their stats up.
Which is also a sort of fun thing to do as well. The little no touch there. You see the
lovely
shimmy.
stuff.
Good tackle.
Lovely feet. And Costa. And there's Fabregas. And just straight at the keeper.
Couldn't get it out of his feet.
Couldn't get it out of his feet. But like you were saying before about the career mode, also is the training is that's going to maybe change a player, like say Joe Gomez for Liverpool, who Charlton player did sign. Would you be able to kind of use him as a raw player and shape him up and maybe make him a left back rather than a centre back, that kind of thing?
Yeah. So there's obviously limits to it. You're not going to make John Terry the best striker in the world, but what you can do is build up his defensive ability, like you said. You talked about there as Gomez defending wise. You can do that. You can maybe make him a better passer as well. But the potential and the growth is also dependent on position.
Oh, great save from Courtois there.
One other thing we could mention, maybe you could switch it on quickly, is the trainer. So we've got training and then there's the trainer. So, I know a lot of our core fans maybe think this isn't something for them, but we're only going to see the basic controls right here, but you can actually start to see much more advanced controls. So, but this is a great way for some of our newer players to come in, learn the basics. But we also show you things like advanced controls, like triple tap crosses as well. Lob through balls, different ways to play the game. So we think this is important. It's helping new players, but also some players that are playing FIFA for a couple of years, and maybe some more advanced controls.
And if there's a really good FIFA player, you'll be able to see the way they play and what combinations of buttons they're using to play the game.
Exactly.
What a goal, my words!
So that was actually some new logic there for the goalkeeper, just the way they step back, sort of move back towards the goal. Obviously had a few issues around goalkeeper last year, but he's actually able to track back better.
Nice.
As well.
And will this new trainer mode, will that you see a lot of times you'll see the FIFA great goals where you'll see Ronaldo do a crazy back heel kind of free kick or do some crazy skill. Will that be part of that as well?
In terms of telling you what he's just done, it's basically just contextual to say in this situation
this is what you should do. Okay.
Not what you should, but you could do. It's not like
he's through. Offside.
It's not like that. This is the perfect thing to do. This is just some suggestions about what you might want to try.
And obviously, you've got all the new kits here. That's a big thing. I mean, the new I mentioned before the hoops, but the new Chelsea kit, the new sponsors.
Absolutely.
And I think people I get so excited by that.
Right.
Just the new kits and the new look.
Yeah.
And there's so much. I can't wait to see the Charlton kit and see what that's like. And there's so much authenticity to FIFA now.
So again, that was another pass with purpose. We call it. That was the harder pass there.
I had to make the pass.
I don't know what Al's doing. He's just...
Diego Costa was just waiting in the middle.
He just needs to finish, really.
Finish. The problem with Chelsea is they always try and walk it.
Yeah, well, he's obviously he's trying that.
But yeah, you can see,
you can see the coverage of the players a little bit more defensively as well. They were very much sticking to their man previously, whereas now they're much more likely to try and defend the space. Exactly, exactly.
That's it. That's what I always try and do. When I'm playing career mode, I always sell my defender short, and you've got to defend that space and wait for the ball in and make the difference there. No one there for Chelsea.
I'm playing with one contact lens at the moment. I think that's worse than the red card.
Right,
so there you go.
1-0.
That's kind of like a complete game. You get the idea. As if you're at Gamescom, this is the build you can come and play on the show
Messi's
floor.
new tattoo there as well.
Exactly.
Awesome.
We've done some work on the faces as well, just improving some of the facial textures for some of the bigger players. You're always going to get. We try and build in the atmosphere as well. We did a lot of work of changing the way we do all the replays a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
we try and obviously build on that each year.
I'm a huge fan of this replay system. I love it, especially after a big game with lots of incidents.
Yeah, you get to see.
You sit back and review it.
Yeah.
And you can see the graphical fidelity there. Like you can see the difference in the facial structures and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely skills from Willian.
So I don't know if we've got time for one. We can maybe start another game with a couple of different teams. Oh, that was actually, we just passed the screen. We've just changed the flow slightly so you can go in and see some of the highlights a little easier to get to them.
Oh, nice.
Obviously we've got these screens won't be in the final game.
You can do a replay by player there.
You can actually, some of the key moments, that screen's been in the game previously, but it was a bit hidden.
Oh, okay.
So we wanted to bring it out. You can just bypass it if you want, but it's a little easier to then see some of the key moments.
Okay, unfortunately...
even if you lose, so you basically enter a draft with coins with FIFA points, or there's a new draft token that we built. So those are accessible in packs. You might be able to pull those, and that gives you entry into these competitions. Even if you lose your first match, you're still going to get that value back. But if you're able to put together a few wins, you're going to see way better prizes come out in the end. So a very rewarding mode for sure.
Great.
And super fun as well. So it's really, when you play with your mates, sitting on a Friday night, something like that, is the banter that can come out of that is fantastic.
So we've segued here. We've just set up a match scene as we're in Germany. We've picked Borussia Mönchengladbach, and who else did we pick?
Dortmund.
So yeah, was that a new training game as well?
Yes. So here what we have as well, the first thing that you see is Gladbach Stadium. So that's new into FIFA. We have 9 new stadiums this year. But the other thing is the Bundesliga overlay graphics.
Okay, yeah. So it's authentic like the Premier League, which you already had.
Yeah, exactly. So last year we did the Premier League. We got fantastic feedback out of that. And this year, so we managed to create the Bundesliga graphics that really puts you...
Yeah, the Premier League stuff is so good. It just gives you that... You can't really distinguish it.
It's the ultimate immersion. Yeah. But it's not just about the graphics. So there are tons of different details here and there. For example, chants. So, there is nothing as immersive as hearing the crowds, like a super loud. And this year we added more than 900 chants, from teams all over the world. It really feels impressive.
How do you add them? Do you actually record them at stadiums, or do you
there are specific requirements on how we capture the crowd. So we need to capture different channels, etc. So we work in general with the broadcasters to get the audio, and then it's a licensing thing, so you need to identify that is like a profanity free, those kind of things, and license the melody. So
obviously that gets rid of about 90% of all football chants immediately.
Well, not really. They can be edited as well. But it's a really awesome thing, hearing the chants and at the right moments, because we do that. So good chance they play when you're playing well. Oh, that was
quite
nice
good header.
Yes. And so he's going to celebrate. No, he didn't reach the camera, because we have new celebrations as well. And some of those, when you can run directly to the cameraman, that they're having the handycam around there, and you do stuff for the camera, and you see that, or you can go and celebrate with the subs. But we can talk a little bit more about
general
gameplay now.
Yeah, is there anything like in FIFA 15 that you kind of wanted to address going into 16 particularly?
Yeah, the main piece of feedback that we got was that when playing online, players like Cristiano Ronaldo and Bale, like super speedy wingers, they were extremely difficult to stop.
Yeah.
And we took that to heart, and this year one of the key words for us was balance. We really truly wanted to have a game that felt balanced all over the pitch, but it not only balanced all over the pitch, it was innovating all over the pitch. So we have what we call confidence in defense. A lot of work went into defense with defending agility, that is adding a lot of animations and improvements and polishing here and there to actually counter those situations of Bale and Cristiano Ronaldo.
So you're giving people, when they're defending, more tools to kind of combat that, because you can like do second tackles.
Exactly. So we have a new tackling mechanic. So when you slide tackle, so when you're on the ground, you can press it again, and the player will get up.
Yeah.
So it really brings slide tackle to become useful again. Yeah. In a sense, it was a hit or miss. So people stopped using it a bit because it was too harsh, the punishment for missing it. But now with this extra opportunity, in a sense, you want to use it again. But it's not just about that. The players are much more intelligent in terms of deciding or realizing when there is going to be a ball possession change, so they come back faster to position. They are much smarter into deciding to mark space or the man. And in terms of the midfield and defending as well, they are much more aggressive for what is the interception intelligence, what we call. So they're really, really covering those passing lanes. So the game is no longer, so the midfield is no longer a transit zone, but it's really battle for possession again.
Yeah, because I've played the game a few times, and you find that when the ball zips through midfield, like you'll find a midfielder will stick out a leg, as they would do. Yeah. They don't just let it go by them.
Yeah, it's true to real life, and really wanted to bring that value for possession back. But what that allows as well, so defending became so powerful that it allowed us to innovate into the attack. So one of those is passing with purpose. That is to counter those interceptions. So it's a new type of pass that is a low pass, very strong. That is, okay, I want to send it to this particular guy, but the pass receiver needs to be in a good position, because otherwise that first touch is not that good. So it has a lot of error. It really brings a lot of all of the pieces together to make it really balanced.
Is that a modifier to a regular pass?
It's not a modifier. It is on 2 or right back.
Okay.
And yes, it's when you pass it, they are doing it right now, so you see how strong it is, and it really feels awesome. But
can you do that on a through ball as well, or is it just?
No, it's just with the normal ground pass. But in addition to that, into the attack, it's about creating more moments of magic. I think we're going to see another feature now, that is, if it wasn't a penalty, the vanishing spray. This is used in
this became so famous at the World Cup.
Yes. So okay, we don't have it in the scene there, but you can see the referee walking to the wall and just doing that. So these little touches that really make the game much more authentic and immersive. They are fantastic. And as I was mentioning, like in the attack, the other fantastic thing that we did, the other innovation, is what we call no-touch dribbling. So we got inspired in Messi. So Leo Messi is a player that when he dribbles, one of the things that he does particularly well is, without touching the ball, just moving his body, like doing body feinting, to leave players behind. And we took note of that, and we watch a lot of football in the office. So we are from all over the world, and we watch every single league that you can imagine. And we wrote down, like, okay, so let's watch League 2, League 1 in England. Argentinian First Division is what I watch, and we were really noting, okay, every player, regardless of how good they are, they do it. So they do that kind of no-touch dribble, is how we call it. And so Messi, Neymar, they do it all the time in a brilliant way. But you go to a League 2 game and you will see somebody doing it. And we say, okay, we need to do this. We need to do this into the game. And with a modifier, when you're dribbling as well, you do this no-touch. Let's see if the guys can get it while playing. It's particularly effective when sprinting, but it has multiple layers. So you see how he was moving the body a bit. You need to do it like in precise moments.
Yeah.
So for being effective.
I've played it a few times, and it allows you to like body swerve and kind of fake people out as well, if you want to use it at a very high level.
Yes. So it has a lot of different layers. So it will take some time to master, but it really feels fantastic when you leave players behind with that. So overall, so innovation all over the pitch, is what we say, that because really that's how we feel it. It's a really truly balanced game. We're very, very happy of the state of it. We also did a lot of different improvements in the goalkeepers. You know, there was another area of feedback that we got last year. We were very proud of what we did last year.
Because you did a lot of work on goalkeepers last year.
Yes, it was rewriting the goalkeeper. That is not easy thing. So the goalkeeper makes a mistake and you're done. But very proud of what we did. So it allows us now to really go deeper with it. So we did a huge swipe of like videos on that the community was sending us, to just go every single issue, getting our embedded QA team, reproducing in our testbed, and just improving and fixing and polishing the hell out of all.
So it's quite hard in the new game, as I understand it, to like kind of trick keepers. Like if they're backtracking to their line, the ball might not go over their head. They can tip it while running back.
Yeah, we didn't have enough coverage of animation in those situations. That's what we found out after reproducing all the issues over and over. And so we went into the motion capture studio and captured more and more and more. And all of those are now there. So it's really good. It feels fantastic, the game. I encourage everyone to try it out. So if you're here at Gamescom, so you can do it in the EA booth on the show floor. So you can try both draft and normal kickoff, normal gameplay. But it's fantastic. And outside this, so we were talking just a piece of this. So we're introducing other new ways to play, like women's football. So we have 12 national team. It's fantastic after the World Cup as well. There was, all the people watching that and really realizing that women's football, it's part of football as well.
Yeah, it was great because that was the announcement that actually led the announcement of FIFA 16 was the 12 women's teams. It's interesting with that. Is the gameplay different in any way for the?
It is.
Yeah. So
it is.
What are those kind of differences?
So I tell you, primarily I think so. EA Sports FIFA is a celebration of the world of football. It's a celebration of football, and football is worldwide. Women's football is part of that, and that's why it must be there as well. But the amount of things that we did for doing it well, because that's how we like doing things. That's our aim, is always doing it as perfect as we can. So what we did is we have audio, like the crowd, that we recorded specific women's matches to capture the crowd audio and put that into the game. Player calls, just the localization of the game. So English is primarily neutral. So the player, it works both for women and men. But if you check Portuguese, Spanish, French, it's gender specific.
Right,
so you have in Spanish, so I'm Spanish native speaker, it's el jugador for a man and la jugadora for female. So a lot of effort into localization wise. Imagine that we have a legacy of how many years of commentary that was almost 40% recording, 40% of all the assets again, just to be female specific. So we have in English as well, like she shoots, she passes, those kind of things. And like a commentary about talking players like Abby Wambach, like a really banter about the stuff. So that's just audio and localization. But then gameplay, the big discussion was our attributes. And the attributes, we decided, okay, women are just comparable with women, so we are not going to do a 94 Messi comparable to a 93 Alex Morgan. And based on that, so we went through every single component that we have on our gameplay systems, and so we used the necessary modifiers so gameplay feels authentic to women football as well. Like that, so women's football, you have much more space, it's less physical, and in general, so players tend to shoot high the ball because keepers are not as tall. So all those little nuances, if you try it out, you will feel it different. You will feel okay. It's much more authentic to women's football.
And the character models are different as well. They're very specific. They've been not modeled on the anatomy of women. It's rather than just like changing the heads on them.
No, absolutely. So we replaced. So we recreated a new player rig. So we have new body scaling technology. We optimized the rendering so we could do physics on the ponytails because most of the players, female players, use ponytails. So we have physics for each ponytail, which it's fantastic, And then we also capture the likeness of most of the players. It's a true representation of women's football, and I'm really proud of it. And the other big feature that I want to mention is a trainer. So we like people to get into the game, to learn the game faster, and even experienced people to learn new ways of how to perform the game. There is a trainer. Okay, the game.
We saw it a bit earlier as well. It's kind of an overlay that shows you in that moment what your options are as a player.
It's showing you some of the options, because FIFA has more than 70 different controls that you can perform, or combinations that you can perform. So what we do with that, so we did a lot of research. So it was, what is the best way to learn how to play FIFA? Is you and I sitting on the same couch, and so you tell me what to do, or you tell me what are my options. That's how we got inspired for building the trade.
And that's a really exciting thing, you know, traveling the world, playing to people that love your music, you know.
So tell us a little bit about Lauren, where she is today. Of course, your lead vocals. She's not. Is she a player like FIFA all the time when the guys come up with playing FIFA? Is she someone who says like, okay, you go ahead, play your thing. I'm go ahead, play a little bit more music and stuff.
Very much so. She would leave the room and let them get on with it, which is nice, which is good, tolerant.
But she's your fan and cheering for you today.
For Team Cook, I hope so. I'm not sure.
Also Team Cook ist hier auch schon fleißig am Start, aber genauso schlägt sich Martin hier auch ganz großartig. 0:0, 8. Spielminute. How's it going so far?
I would say it's okay. This is obviously the first time I've played the new game. I like it, but I'm not particularly good at it yet. It's pretty exciting. It feels nice though. It feels nice and slick. Feels good.
Ich weiß nicht, ob ihr es jetzt gerade hören konntet, aber Ian hat gerade von etwas weiter weg gerufen. Komm mal, Christian! Er hat nämlich, ich weiß nicht, ob ihr es vorhin mitbekommen habt, er hat auch vorhin gesagt, Ian ist jetzt nicht so der erfahrene FIFA-Spieler, deswegen hat er sich seine Geheimwaffe mitgebracht. Der Christian, der ist da. Ist auch schön, wenn man den Namen Christian auch ins Deutsche übersetzt, ja? Christian.
Christian gegen Martin.
Ja, genau. Christian gegen Martin. Und Christian soll das Ding hier auf jeden Fall machen. Martin ist ein etwas erfahrener FIFA-Spieler. Christiane, wie ist es denn eigentlich? Frag doch mal Martin, wie es für ihn ist. Ich meine, er ist ein erfahrener FIFA-Zocker und er spielt gerade, glaube ich, zum ersten Mal FIFA 16 an, wie er es findet.
Genau, er hat gerade schon ein bisschen erzählt. Er spielt es natürlich wirklich zum ersten Mal und daher sagt er, muss sich noch so ein bisschen eingrooven, aber das sieht schon ganz gut aus, was er da macht. Do you think you're able to score?
We shall see. Right now I can't score, no. Because it's, I guess I'm still getting used to it a little bit.
But you've played before, right?
Yeah, I've played loads of times. This is what I do on the bus, but it's a new version of the game. Oh, there we go. Ooh.
That was pretty close. Ah, fast. Da hätte er es fast geschafft. So when do you find time to play at all? Are you playing after your concerts or whenever?
I play on the tour bus mostly. I don't really, and when we are in the studio, when I come home at night, I'll play video games because I don't have I don't want to go to a bar or get drunk. I want to try and stay focused, so I play a lot of FIFA when I'm at home as well.
That sounds pretty serious.
You know, I think this is hard to concentrate and speak at the same time. I'm not going to lie.
Keep talking, I like it. Multitasking.
You're messing with my flow here.
Ja, es ist auch ein bisschen fies, ne? Also es ist klar, wenn man gleichzeitig reden muss und spielen, das ist schon nicht so einfach. Er konzentriert sich hier natürlich. How do you think it's going so far?
It looks pretty even so far. There seems to be an equal amount of pressure from both sides. So my money's still on Christian because he's representing me.
At first, I thought you were going to say it's look easy. So then we say, okay, then you could have played.
Even,
yeah.
Easy.
So the first half is almost over. I want to see one of you score, at least one of you.
I think in order to do that, someone would have to get a little bit worse at the game, or someone would have to get a little bit better. But it's difficult. Maybe it's now.
Oh!
Almost. Aber Amy, das sieht gut aus, was die beiden hier machen. Ich glaube, wir sollten es später auch mal versuchen.
Ja, also sehr, sehr gerne. Nein, ich spiele natürlich auch sehr, sehr gerne FIFA und ich habe es auch schon ein, zwei Mal jetzt hier während der Gamescom angespielt und muss auf jeden Fall sagen, es ist ihnen wieder erneut gelungen. Natürlich, das ist keine Überraschung, nochmal einfach noch mehr Gimmicks bzw. noch mehr Features reinzupacken, dass der wahre FIFA-Zocker das einfach merkt. Und wir haben jetzt hier die ersten 45 Minuten hinter uns gebracht. Martin and Christian, it's a 0-0 after 45 minutes. Okay. Can you do us a favor, please? Can you score, for example? Okay. Martin.
I don't know. I'll give it a go. I think that's what I'm trying to do, one way or another.
So, und immer noch 0:0 nach der ersten Halbzeit. Ich meine, ja klar, die Jungs spielen sich noch ein bisschen ein, aber ich glaube, das wird. It looks really good so far. Although you haven't scored. It's okay.
Ian, your song, The Mother We Share, was featured in the opening video for the 2014 Commonwealth Games opening ceremony in Glasgow. I mean, as a band, you dream about special moments that you have with your band. How was it at that point? And what do you expect when you think about the future of churches?
That was a really special moment for sure, because obviously Scotland was hosting the Commonwealth Games and they chose our song as part of the montage to represent the country. What happened?
Tor! Tor! Ich muss unterbrechen! Tor! Goal! Who scored? Who scored?
Goal!
Yes, Christian, thank you.
Yeah, Christian, you get your money.